On today's show, we hit golf balls with the newest Maple Leaf, David Clarkson. A look at the devastating effects of this summer's bad weather on Canadian golf courses, and a chat with Hunter Mahan and his coach, Sean Foley.
This is Score Golf, the voice of Canadian golf. Score Golf is brought to you by Molson Canadian 67, official beer of the PGA of Canada, RBC Canadian Open, and Canadian Women's Open. Tailor-made golf, the #1 driver in golf. GolfKelowna.com. 20 courses, from easygoing to ego-shattering. Now, here's your host, Bob Weeks.
Hello, Canada, and welcome to another edition of SCOREGolf TV. And what a show we have for you today. We're getting near the end of our season. I know the PGA Tour season is close to wrapping up with the FedEx Cup playoffs and then, of course, the President's Cup. And we just have a couple more shows left, but we have a good one for you today. David Clarkson, the newest member of the Toronto Maple Leafs, will be along. Sean Foley and Hunter Mahan will also be here. And to kick things off, let's chat with some PGA Tour players. Each week here on SCOREGolf TV, we showcase stunning golf destinations across Canada, hoping to inspire you to pack up your clubs and tee it up at a fantastic course outside your community. But for PGA Tour pros who travel hundreds of kilometers on a weekly basis to compete at world-class layouts, their vacation is putting their clubs away and spending time at home. For some players, this comes easily. For others, well, they just can't shed the itch to play golf.
I find it pretty easy. I can put the clubs away for a week and not get them out and not have the urge to get them out. And then when I get back, I'm eager and ready to go again. So I just enjoy spending time at home with my family, just going down the pub for a beer, just enjoy doing normal stuff, and I don't have a problem at all shutting it down.
It's really difficult. I won't put them down for a week, maybe 2 or 3 days is at the max. I like to practice. I need to practice for my own sanity sometimes. But I love doing it, and obviously love to play golf.
For me, I find if I take a week off, is to take a week off, not hitting the balls. But I'm always in the back of my mind thinking about certain shots, thinking about my golf swing, and sort of maybe mentally trying to work on a few things instead of going out in the golf driving range and physically having to do it. The mental side of the game is very important.
It's definitely tough for me to hang up the clubs for a few days at a time. There's a couple times throughout the year where I definitely like to get away for maybe a week or so, a little vacation with the family and hang with some friends or something like that. But I love playing, so taking a week off can be tough sometimes, but every once in a while it is needed.
There's a couple things I do. I'll go fish, or I'll go just put the clubs in the closet and just leave them. Or I have 2 kids to I'll play Mr. Mom, and I run around and do everything that mom should do. But the main thing I do is I go fish. That's relaxing to me. You're out there by yourself, peaceful day. You hear the birds chirping and out on the water by yourself. It's can't beat that.
Teeing up Team Canada, reviewing Canada's national golf program. Brought to you by RBC. Let us help you make your mark.
Corey Connors is currently the top-ranked Canadian amateur in the world and a member of Team Canada's national squad. He's had a phenomenal summer as he qualified for the U.S. Amateur and went deep into the match play before dropping a hard-fought 2-1 decision in the semifinals. The loss left Connors just short of taking home a finalist award at the prestigious USGA event and meant he missed out in a spot in the 2014 Masters awarded to the finalists. The 21-year-old Listowel, Ontario native finished runner-up in the 2013 Canadian Amateur and the Men's North and South Amateur Championship as well. He tied for 3rd at the Monroe Invitational and earlier this year helped Canada clinch the win in the Copas de las Americas event. Connors attributes much of his success to the support and help he's received from being on Team Canada.
It's been awesome, the support we get, the things we're able to learn really gives us an advantage over competition. Just the sports science stuff and just how you need to train your body to perform well, and the technical aspects, and then all the equipment that we get to do our best has been super helpful.
Connor still has 1 year left to finish up his impressive collegiate career. Entering his senior year at Kent State University in the Mid-American Conference, Connors is just one of a pair of Canucks helping out the program as he's teammates with Porter Cup champion Taylor Pendrith. The team's alumni features two-time Canadian amateur champion Mackenzie Hughes, as well as two-time Web.com winner John Mills.
It's been a great experience. Knew going in there that they had a really good history of producing some good Canadian college players, and I was really excited to try and keep that going. It's been really fun. I've had a great time. Herb's really passionate and he loves his Canadian guys. Teammate Taylor Pendrith, we have played together our whole careers there, and it's really fun. We have a good time together, and we've been playing some good golf.
After such a phenomenal summer, there's no telling how far Connors can climb on the world amateur rankings. Right on the cusp of a top 20 in the world, it's just a matter of time before he breaks through and finds his name popping up worldwide. After this break, Jason Logan goes one-on-one with David Clarkson at St. George's.
The Tee-Off season is brought to you by Molson Canadian 67, proud sponsor of golf and the official sport of the Gaia.
Welcome to another segment of the Tee-Off season here on SCOREGolf TV, and today we are at the gorgeous St. George's Golf and Country Club in the west end of Toronto. And very fittingly, I am joined by one of the newest members of the Toronto Maple Leafs who grew up right down the road in Mimico, David Clarkson. And David, I wonder, you've played your junior career mostly in Kitchener. You played all of your NHL career until now in New Jersey, but you finally come home, and I gotta ask, how excited are you for that first game wearing the blue and white?
Yeah, pretty exciting. I think a little nervous for that first game to happen, but excited. It's nice to be home. And like you said, I grew up here. I was a fan of the Maple Leafs growing up, and so especially to have your family and be close to home and the ones you love, so I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Now, we know what type of hockey player you are. Like to get in the corners, grind it out, throw your body weight around. I'm wondering what type of golfer you are, though. How long you've been playing? Maybe what are your strengths, your weaknesses?
I started playing when I was younger, so I played a lot, and then stopped playing for a while. So I'm okay off the tee, but in tight sometimes. I got to work on the chips a little bit.
Well, David, we both hit pretty good shots here, but this green at St. George's kind of slopes this way, so we're both just off the green. What do you say, a little quarter chip off here, or
yeah.
Or do you want to play for our respective salaries? How about that? What, your short game, you said that it was a little bit of a struggle, but how are you feeling about this chip here?
I'll let you know after I hit it, but yeah, I don't know. This one doesn't seem too bad, but I mean, I think from like the 70-yard in, sometimes I'll make little mistakes, but from here, hopefully I can put it closer than you, I'm hoping.
Okay, well, I'm up first. I'm away, of course, so let me give it a shot. Go! That's better. Yeah, oh, good putt. David, I wonder, through your journeys in the NHL and visiting various cities, is there any particular golf course you've played, whether it's here in Canada or in the United States, that really ranks high up for you, aside from this one, of course?
Yeah, no, this has got to be one of the nicest, but I think, you know, Trump in New Jersey, we're very lucky to have a lot of nice courses in that surrounding area that I was fortunate to play, but I would say the one that I enjoyed the most was probably Trump's. I was out there a couple of times, and our whole team got to go out once, so really enjoyed it.
Well, we're here on probably one of the best closing holes in the country, 18 at St. George's. You have the honor, your par versus my bogey, so smash away. Who is the best NHLer on the golf course that you've played with? And I'm putting you on the spot here.
Gonna get some phone calls after this guy's being mad at me, but I have to say probably Jamie Langenbrunner. Jamie Langenbrunner and Marty are both pretty good, but I have to say Jamie was probably the best golfer I've ever played with.
Oh, 99 yards, Wayne Gretzky for you. So that's about a 300-yard drive. You got a little 100-yard, what do you got, a sand wedge in?
Yeah, 56.
Okay, so take us through this shot. What are you gonna try and do here?
I don't know, you're pretty tight there to the pin, so I'm gonna, you know what, I'm just gonna try and put it on the green and hopefully...
I know what you're saying. Close. Hopefully I three-putt, because you saw me on the last hole. All right, play well.
Thank you.
Oh, I like it.
Get it.
Great shot, David. Oh, and I'm gonna give you a read too. David, we've been asking this question a lot of the NHLers we've had on the show, and I'm gonna throw it to you. Who do you think was the most dominant athlete in the prime of their careers? I know Tiger Woods is still in the prime, but Tiger Woods versus Wayne Gretzky.
I'd love to say Tiger being on the golf course, but I'm going to have to go with Wayne Gretzky being a huge fan and growing up being able to play that game for a living.
Well, I think every NHLer has said Wayne Gretzky, so it's not surprising. But speaking of good golfers, I just wanted to let you in on a little secret. Carl Pedersen, when he won the RBC Canadian Open here, had a putt actually for 59 on this screen. You made par on 17 and you're got a birdie putt on 18. Maybe you should take him on.
I don't know about that. That's 2 lucky shots in a row.
I just touched that putt, David. It is quick above the hole here at St. George's, so just warning you.
All right.
Ooh, good try. It's a good putt. Good leave. Nice, good par. Good 2-putt. That was fun.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us here in the late summer, because we all know that come next spring, you're not going to have any time to golf, right?
That's right.
Reassure us, suffering leaf fans.
That's the plan.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, David.
Thank you.
Around the corner, we'll look at the brutal storms that hit Toronto and Calgary this summer and all the damage they created at local golf courses. This has been a year of very strange weather across this continent of ours. On the PGA Tour, we've seen snowouts in Arizona and fogouts and rainouts. I mean, it's been extreme. And when you come north to Canada, of course, we've had some terrible rainouts. The courses out in Calgary that were affected, the damage at Kananaskis, which may or may not ever be repaired. Here in Toronto, a huge storm washed out a number of courses, including this one here, Weston Golf and Country Club. It doesn't look like it right now, but just a few short weeks ago, this hole here was underwater. Let's talk now and find out more about the extreme weather and how courses battled through it. Mother Nature is a fickle woman. She teases us with warm, sunny skies on days we don't need them and tortures us with wet, chilly weather on days we do. And this summer has been no different. In addition to rainouts, the PGA Tour has seen a snowstorm, fog, and wind delays. But things got much more serious here at home. 2 of Canada's biggest cities were hammered by once-in-a-century storms, leaving many golf courses crippled. On July 8th, more than 100 millimeters of rain fell in Toronto's West End, most of it coming in a matter of hours. Stunning, almost heartbreaking photos such as these from Markland Wood, Royal Woodbine, Islington, and Weston surfaced on the internet. The damage created havoc for maintenance members.
When I saw the video of the 5th green covered in 30 feet of water, I've been here for 12 years, I've never seen anything even close to that. And what put it over the edge was the continuing rain that I was seeing at my house. And then eventually through social media, I was sent a picture that someone took from the GO train that showed water rushing down our valley. And on the slope that it was rushing down, I have my main pump station. And I couldn't see my pump station, and that's when panic set in.
At this club, we had approximately 7 holes underwater from the flood. Damage was severe through the valley here on number 11. As you can see, the green in the background is needed to be rebuilt, and throughout to number 8, where we had severe damage to bridges and the extent of the hole.
Superintendents and their crews faced hours upon hours of work. Debris needed gathering and removal, bunkers needed rebuilding, and fairways and greens needed resodding. At Islington, the picturesque 18th was essentially transformed into a river, as you can see. The finishing par 4 has returned to playable shape. It was a similar situation at Weston, where the 2nd hole was struck a heavy blow by the July storm, with water spilling across the fairway. It's recovered nicely since then. At one point in the storm, the 5th green was under 30 feet of water. At all of the courses affected, it was long hours of hard work, but the spirit of the staff never wavered.
Initial looks at the golf course were were kind of shocking. One of the lines that I did say to my staff, I said, listen, pretty sure that when you showed up on Monday, I would have you busy for the 40 hours that you were going to be here this week. It's going to be the same, it's just going to be a little bit different. It was very difficult work. I mean, once the storm showed up and you see devastation everywhere, we've been through it many times where, listen, you got to bite off one thing at a time, segregate the work, and you have to very much keep it positive.
Yeah, the staff, we were all in shock, that's for sure. None of us have been here, have seen anything like this before. But we had great response from the membership and the staff. They all came out. First couple weeks, we really worked hard. Everyone chipped in, did a great job getting the place back and ready to open 9 holes. Membership was very appreciative of what they did. They came out and supported us and helping with rakes and shovels, and so it was a great turnout.
The July 8th storm has become Ontario's most expensive natural disaster, with the Insurance Bureau of Canada estimating damage at over $850 million. But that falls short of the damage in Alberta, where the Premier announced an estimated $5 billion will be needed to help rebuild the infrastructure. Beginning on June 19th, a massive downpour flooded rivers and creeks around Calgary, sending people fleeing from their homes, postponing the PGA Tour Canada event in town, and wiping out one of the best courses in our nation. Home to twin 18-hole layouts and mainstays on our biennial top 100 courses in Canada ranking, Kananaskis Country Golf Course was hammered by the flooding as seen in these photos. Owned by the province of Alberta, it was announced Kananaskis would be closed for repairs for the rest of the 2013 season. Government officials are now weighing whether restoring the courses is actually worth the cost. Nearby, the iconic Banff Springs made out generally unscathed, but the outpouring of support from the Canadian golf industry to this entire Gulf region eased the recovery.
A flood came through the area, and for a few days it sort of shut things down. We were very fortunate here in the Banff Springs that we had minor flooding that happened, and it was all cleaned up within 48 hours. And we do want to thank many people across Canada in the golf industry who either had played with us or work in it, sent a lot of congratulations in getting back up, sent a lot of hope you're wells and well wishes, and we really do appreciate the camaraderie in the industry and what they shared and the care they took in calling us and contacting us about how we were doing.
The industry's camaraderie stretches beyond club affiliations, and the strength of the superintendent's circle always perseveres when Mother Nature deals a blow to their area.
The network of superintendents is a very tight one. You find out what's out there, you see that you have people that are in the same boat, and you have people that are willing to help no matter how.
When we come back, we'll hang out with Hunter Mahan and Sean Foley. Well, as one of the top teachers in the world, Sean Foley spends a lot of his time at practice facilities just like this one. And recently he was there with one of his top students, Hunter Mahan.
Johnny Walker presents Progress Your Game. Great game. Keep walking.
I think one of the positives, like with Hunter, is obviously like the cadence or rhythm and how he swings a golf club, but also his ability to not really overthink what he's doing. So when he finds the right groove in his swing and we're continuously working on the same things, he can keep up that level of ball striking for 3-4 months in a row. So I think it's more the sequencing of everything's moving in the right position or moving in the right places at the right time for him. It's not to say there's a right place for everybody, but within what he needs to do and create, and then he's arguably probably one of the straightest, longest drivers in the history of the game. So I mean, that's a complete weapon. I think, you know, right now he's first in total driving and second in total ball striking. So I mean, that's the strength of what he does. What's some of the things that we've worked on as far as from the pause to the 50% one?
Yeah.
You know, to the rotational knockdown.
Yeah, it's yeah, for me, anything that kind of creates timing is always good. When, you know, swing feels just a little bit off, maybe a little quick with the chest, or things just aren't synced up, or it's just like to take the swing up to the top, give it a good 2 counts. So when I give it that 2 counts, I have to start the swing from the feet up.
Yeah.
And that's always, I mean, that's what you want to start each swing with, the feet up, and then kind of driving with the legs, and everything else is kind of just pulling behind.
Mm-hmm. And what's the benefit? Show us a couple of those. And that's the thing I like about this drill too, is that it takes all the help of momentum out, so you have to do it all yourself, you know?
Yeah, there's no saving it with arms or hands or anything. It's just pure, you're feeling it with the body, you know, and we're swinging with the body, and we're not swinging with the arms or the hands trying to catch it up or get lucky.
Probably 3/4 of your speed. Pure bun. And would you say, like on the course, when you're going after it, is it ever 100%?
Oh, very rarely. I mean, usually you're just trying to swing just very within yourself, so you can get up to that finish position, and it's just, you know, it looks like you're just standing there on one leg, you know.
Yeah,
if you can't stand there on one leg and feel everything there, then you definitely swung out of your shoes and definitely swung from different areas.
Sure. I mean, really hitting the ball far is about having all the proper alignments at impact, right?
Yeah, it's just...
Velocity is obviously important as well, but I've never really seen anyone hit it further by swinging harder.
No, absolutely. When you want to hit it hard, you usually have to, I mean, you have to just usually get your left side better. You know, you have to create more of that instead of creating, you know, trying to jerk it with the big muscles.
Absolutely. As we all know, Hunter Mahan is one of the game's best ball strikers and arguably one of the best drivers of the golf ball who's ever lived. One of the drills that we've had to do with Hunter to change that sequence, as you saw in the video, is the pause drill. So Hunter used to take it to the top, and as he would get to the top, he would start to unwind, keeping his weight on his backside and rotating too soon. So to show him the proper sequence in the downswing, we would take to the top to get rid of all momentum, wait 3 seconds, and then start with the pressure into the ground, knee to the target, lateral shift of the body to the target, and as he comes into impact, he just has absolutely unbelievable rotation with his body, which allows the club face to remain square to the arc on the through swing. And that, to me, in a nutshell, is really what Hunter does and what he's improved at so much, is the sequence of events leading from the top to the bottom is making him a more consistent ball striker.
Week Speaks is brought to you by Bushnell, makers of the Pro 1M and Tour Z6 rangefinders.
Well, the President's Cup is upon us, and once again, it'll be the Americans versus well, it's the internationals, but what really is it? It's a collection of countries other than Europe, and it's really hard to put a flag on that. And that's one of the biggest issues with this event. It's why it really hasn't caught fire like the Ryder Cup has. There's also the fact that the Americans absolutely drum the international team every time they go out. And for all these reasons, when you watch it, there's not this antagonism like you have at the Ryder Cup. There's not this us versus them. There's not this real desire to beat the other guy a lot. This one is more like a hit and giggle. It's a fun event, and it just doesn't seem to catch fire. For this really, though, to take it to the next level, what has to happen? The international side has to start winning. They've only won this once. They've tied once. They need to start beating the Americans. Hopefully that'll happen this time out. That's all the time we have for this week on ScoreGolf TV. We just have one more show left, folks, for this year. It's coming up at the end of September. It's our year-end review. Catch us then, and until then, look for us at scoregolf.com.
Thanks for watching Score Golf on TSN, the voice of Canadian golf. Bob Weeks Clothing supplied by Ashworth.